Good afternoon, everyone. Austin here with you, your life and business transformational coach. Hold on a second. Here we go. Come on now. Get the weights out. What's it, January 10th? It's January 10th. Come on. Got the weights here. Figured I would just do a workout today. What do you think? Yeah, of course not. I'm going to share some insight with you. I got this weight here. Today's January 10th, and I want to talk about something. January 19th is called Quitter's Day. I didn't know this. I just found out. I've heard people talk about, you know what, when you get to February, people's goals, their declarations, their resolutions, they tank. According to an article on Inc.com, which cited a study by Strava. For those of you, let me put this weight down. More on that later. There's an app called Strava, which I use all the time. Let me see if I can share it with you here. And it basically tracks my runs. Can we see that? There we go. There it is. Outdoor run, outdoor ride, outdoor walk. And it's a social platform. Strava took 800 million logins. They took all this research together and they noticed a trend and they coined January 19th, Quitter's Day. January 19th, Quitter's Day, because according to the research, that's the day where people quit unanimously. And you've heard the other research that by February, it's over. The game is over. People have already given up on their resolutions. Does anybody ever ask why? Why would they have given up on their resolutions? Why do we quit? Why? Well, I'm going to share something with you today. You see this weight? Some of you know I'm a runner. I've done ultra marathons, right? So if I could miraculously clone myself today, some of you are like, no, please don't do that. One's enough. Point taken. But if I could miraculously clone myself, and that clone was identical in every way, shape, or form, and I was going to run a marathon next week, which I could do. My training's not there, but I could do it if I had to. But me number one is going to carry this weight. Me number two, no weight at all. Who is going to finish the marathon first? Me number one, carrying the weight. Me number two, no weight at all. The answer is obvious, isn't it? The me number two, not carrying the weight, is going to finish that marathon in better time because not carrying this weight. What does this mean? It means that the reason why, let me go back before I get into this. Imagine if me number one, who has the weight, hires a coach. Now remember, it's next weekend. It's not 6 months, a year out. It's next weekend. So me number one goes, well, I got to carry this weight. I'm going to hire a running coach to help me run this race faster than me number two. So me number one hires a coach for 1 week. Me number two doesn't hire a coach, but doesn't have to carry the weight. Who finishes the race first? Well, if you have any kind of rationalization around this, you'll say, regardless of the coach, me number two without the weight is still going to finish ahead of me number one because you only have a week and you're going to carry that weight. And now let me get into the reason why. The reason why is many of us enter into a new year, a change of life, a transition, and we set a new goal. We set a new declaration. Many of us don't even put a great strategy in place. But if we do, we still get held back. And the reason why, according to like what I've seen research, is that we have known or unknown limitations, a limiting belief that is holding us back. So there's really three things that keep us off purpose or off point. One is you just haven't done the work. You haven't built up the reasons enough to why you want to follow through. Number two, you have a limited belief that is known or unknown. Number three, you have trauma that's affecting your self-worth. That's a whole other conversation. To keep this on point today, the main thing that I want to focus on is the limiting belief that has held you back. As many times as I've gone back to this information, I took the long road, as you saw in that quote in the beginning. The reason why is because I had a known and unknown limiting beliefs about myself that I allowed to run in the background so that it created this constant self-sabotage in my life. And that's why I'm passionate about helping you not repeat that. And the point is, no matter how many tips, tricks, strategies you learn, if you don't get to the root of the challenge, the same things will repeat, just like it did for me. The great news is I overcame that. And that's why I'm passionate about this to share a message with you today. Because here's what happens. I'm going to give another little metaphor for you here. If you have an unknown limiting belief that you can bring from the unknown to the known, you are in fact metaphorically shining light on the situation. What happens when you shine light? Well, look at my video today. I've struggled with this, getting the video right. Like, do I look good? Sometimes you look good. Sometimes you don't look good. I accept it all, but here's the difference. I trust you can see that. That is light. And ultimately, light makes everything better in time. Oh, it might cause your eyes to squint in the beginning. It might cause you to go like this. But ultimately, whatever you bring into the light, especially if it's a limiting belief, will begin to lose its power over you. Isn't that great news? I mean, isn't that the best news you've heard? That, my goodness, all the strategies, all the stuff I've tried and I failed, I've tried and I've failed, but it's a limiting belief that I may not know about. And if I can identify this one limiting belief, it's going to set me free so that all the things I learned over time will accelerate for you even faster. So let me imagine, let me put this into perspective for you. Mom, I know, Mom, isn't it interesting? January 19th is your birthday, but we're going to change it from Quitter's Day to Rebirth Day. Rebirth Day. Here's what we're going to do. You uncover this limiting belief. All of the work, the research that you've done that you feel like isn't making a difference. And maybe it's just one minor shift and the floodgates open up for you. And imagine living a life that you've dreamt about for years. Just imagine what's possible for you. And I know it to be true. How do we get there? Great question. This all sounds great. Inspirational rhetoric. I've heard it before. How do we get there? Well, I'm going to share that with you right now. I literally recorded a course on the rim of the Grand Canyon back in 2020. I stood on the rim of the Grand Canyon and I was recording the 9 questions to identify and remove limiting beliefs. It's an 11-day experiential mini course. It's 10 minutes a day. It's automatically delivered to you to consume at the best pace for you. However, I recommend that you engage every day for 10 minutes. Are you willing to engage for 10 minutes a day over an 11-day period to radically transform your journey, to get to those goals, those high aspirations, to overcome January 19th and get that rebirth, change Quitter's Day into Rebirth Day, to take the weight and to let go of it and put it down, because many of you are carrying the weight and you don't even know you're carrying it. And you've been carrying it for many years. And I say, it's time. It's time. Say that with me. Even if I can't hear you, say it's time. It's time to put the weight down. It's time to remove that limiting belief. It's time to step fully into my purpose, my passion, and live the life that I know I'm meant to live. Isn't that great when you can step into your power? This 9 questions is a free PDF document. There's 9 questions. It's a free PDF. You can get it. If you choose to do the experiential mini course, gosh, what is the price? I think it's like $47 or $57. I think it's 47. It's 47 US dollars. You can invest. I'm going to keep it up until January 31st. Notice I'm keeping that reduced investment till January 31st, right in the sweet spot when people quit. So I drove cross country to the Grand Canyon to record this over 34 days. I poured my heart and my soul into this. 9 simple questions. It's not earth-shattering rocket science stuff. It's simple because it needs to be simple. It needs to be basic so that we can say, hey, Mama Mo, it's time. Type in, it's time. Live playback, it's time for you to take the weight, discover it, and put it down. It's time for you to thrive. 2022 is the year of your big breakthrough. That's what I have for you today. January 19th, let's change it from Quitter's Day to Rebirth Day. Engage in the 9 questions. If you've gone through them, go through them again. And I just believe there's rewards on the other side. I know for me, you see me on here. To get here was a long and difficult road. And there's no reason why I couldn't have been doing this in my 20s and even in my early 30s. But this, the mind, told me, you're not good enough. And it wasn't until I discovered what was really going on up here and I shined the light on it. I'm showing you this light because my videos are getting better because I have lighting. When you use light, it makes everything better. And metaphorically, when we put light on the things that are holding us back, our world opens up. And I call this self-assessment in the Flashpoint world. It's merely self-assessment, self-reflection. It's being willing to look, not only use the light, but can we look into the mirror and what do we see? because I can look at you and tell you what I see. I can look at you and see the potential in your eyes, the spark in your eyes, the love in your heart. I can see that. But you may not feel that. And you may need to look in that mirror and go, okay, it's time. It's time to let go of what's holding me back. Because I assure you, there's work for you to do in this life. And the more you sit and the more you wait, someone's not getting blessed by your presence and by you not showing up. The sun rises up every day. It's our cue. There's stuff to be done. There's a quote that says, make hay while the sun shines. That's today. That's this year. That's the remainder of your days. Make hay while the sun shines. Somebody, you are going to be a blessing in somebody's life. But if you continually live up here and you're not sure what's holding you back, it's time. And if you're not sure, your work is to discover what's holding you back. Because the world needs you. And even if you don't believe that to be true, I know it to be true. The world needs you. So let's close this out. I started off with the weights, talking about I cloned myself. One of me is going to run the marathon with the weight. One of me is going to run it without the weight. Who wins? Then I said the one with the weight's going to hire a coach. The marathon's next weekend. Even with the coach's strategies, tips, and tricks, the me without the weight is still going to finish first. And the weight is symbolic of your limiting belief. And everything that you learn, all the strategies and tips and tricks are not going to help until you realize you need to put the weight down. And then once you put the weight down, all of the strategies, tips, and tricks, everything's going to make sense. It's going to rocket you forward. And how do you put the weight down? You get the 9 questions to identify and remove limiting beliefs. You get the PDF for free. And then you can invest the $47. I've been told it's 10 times that. You can invest the $47 up until January 31st, and you can go deeper and figure out what's holding you back. And if you've already gone through it, go through it again. Go through it again and get what you need to overcome your limiting beliefs. I'm going to do a little commercial. I'm going to be back on tonight, and I'm going to do something uncharacteristic tonight. I'm going to come back on tonight, and I'm going to talk about the pandemic, which is completely contrary to what I want, what I believe in, but I'm going to do it for a reason, and it's going to make a point. That's going to be later tonight. Look for that. We have the ACT call Thursday night. We have Flashpoint TV on Friday. We have a mastermind going on this weekend. I'm going to put that in our private group. It's for our private group. If you get the 9 questions, you will be invited into our private group, and you can take advantage of all these other things that we're working on. We want that for you. I want that for you. We got great people like Michelle. It's time. Let go. We got Mama Mo. My mom even joined today, turning her birthday, Quitter's Day, into Rebirth Day. So this is Austin with a short few minutes with you here, getting a message across. It's time to let go. It's time to move forward. My name's Austin. I am your life and business transformational coach, the founder of Flashpoint. 2022 is the year of your big breakthrough. We are going to manifest the moment of your big breakthrough in 2022. You are one decision away. And maybe you've just been presented with it today. So later tonight, I'm back on. I'm going to be talking about the pandemic, and I have a special presentation for you tonight, a special reading of an incredible poem. It's all happening. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the music on, and you're going to go off and have a better day. And maybe, just maybe, if you allow yourself, you will have an outstanding day because you can. It's your choice. Bye, everyone. I'll see you later.